Thanks for joining us for this installment of Ask Reverend Beth. I'm Reverend Beth, and I have my friend Ann here with me, and she is a deacon at the church where I serve. And Ann, someone asked you a question this week, and that you wanted to ask me.
Yeah, so somebody asked me this week why we have gluten-free bread for communion.
Gluten-free bread for communion. Oh my goodness. Could anything be more, intense, right? So, okay. When we gather at the table for communion, we want to do it as one people, as one body of Christ, all joining together and partaking in the bread and the cup. So we have any number of things can go in the cup. We could have wine, we can have grape juice, we could even use water, but we have the cup. But in our church, we use grape juice because we have some people who either can't have alcohol because of addiction issues, or they can't have alcohol because it messes with their body, chemistry, whatever. So we use grape juice because juice is juice, and most people probably aren't allergic to grapes. But with our gluten-free bread, we use gluten-free bread because of so many people with celiacs who have any kind of wheat or gluten allergy. We want those people to feel welcome at the table as well. And it's the easiest way we can show hospitality. It's the easiest way we can be one community, by just sharing the same loaf of bread. So does that answer your question, kind of, sort of?
It kind of sort of does. Thank you very much, Reverend Beth.
You're welcome. One other thing I want to say, though, is that I think the most important part of communion isn't the bread and the cup themselves, it's that we show up to the table. So the most important part of communion is the act of taking the piece of bread. It's not about whether or not it tastes good. It's not about the texture or consistency of the bread. It's not about whether or not the juice is sour or sweet. If we focus on those things, we're missing the point of what Jesus was doing at the Last Supper. Jesus wasn't saying, hey, here, take this bread, take and eat, do this in remembrance of me. He wasn't saying, do that, oh, and by the way, let me know how it tastes. No, Jesus was saying, be mindful of this moment with me right now. So the most important thing we can do when we take communion is take communion. Without judgment, without any pretense, and really looking at the people around the table and saying, hey, you with celiacs, you're a part of the body of Christ, and we're going to share a loaf of gluten-free bread. Hey, you alcoholic, we're going to share the cup of the covenant, even though you struggle. We're going to do this together. So that's the whole point of communion and why we have gluten-free bread. And that was a very long answer, but I really care about this. So thank you for joining, and thank you for asking, Reverend Beth.
Thank you, Reverend Beth.